Okay, now you might ask, what does the title mean? Karthik, why are you uploading on a Thursday night? I have answers for all of these. I just want you to know that. Reason for uploading on a Thursday night? I just got a new mic. Uh, you might be thinking, okay, wow, Karthik, you're not making any money. Why the hell are you buying mics? Simple reason, it was a sale, the Big Billion Great Indian Festival sale, and I thought I would make something out of it and get myself a good microphone. And guess what? It was a load of bullshit. The mic was awful and it's producing stupid quality, absolutely terrible quality. Okay, but then the audio sounds really good. Does it? Does it sound good? Here's why. Adobe Podcast has this awesome free software which lets me actually get studio level quality with even a basic microphone. So it is an absolute waste of time buying this mic. So guess what? I have to return it by calling them with a thorough process. See where I'm going with this? Still, it was a nice experience having to, what do you say, arrange the mic and then fail terribly at it. And yeah, that's about it. And I promised a few people that I know personally, like I gave them a heads up saying that, hey guys, you know what? This episode's going to be intense. And you might see that I usually crack a lot of jokes and then I say a lot of funny things, try to be funny, maybe end up failing, maybe end up passing. That's kind of irrelevant. I am funny. But then you might also see I touch upon certain grounded things that may or may not resonate with you, but definitely leave a big mark. And this is one of those episodes where it's just going to be pretty melancholic, to say the least. And it didn't affect me very deeply. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And it's a bit of a trigger warning. It has to do something with death. So, you might, I would say to probably steel yourself before listening to this. And if you're not in the right headspace, please feel free to stop. Yeah, that's about it. So the title, my mother was right. It's the damn phone. It's just a kind of an allegory to how you need to listen to your parents. And of course, I definitely don't want to come off as very preachy, and kind of virtue signal that you got to listen to your parents no matter how abusive they are. My heart goes out to those people who have been abused by their parents or whatever it is that put you in an unpleasant situation with your parents. You are not the target demographic for this. You have been through a lot and definitely not the target demographic for this. My target demographic is, I would say, people like me, people like who have had a pretty normal life. Grateful for that, touch wood. And we we are, I mean, my peers and the people who I frequently interact with, we are at an age where we have kind of, I don't know, rebellious. We have probably passed the peak of our rebellion, but we are always at crossroads with our parents. And I just wanted to touch upon that because more often than not, what my parents have told me, it did turn out to be true. And I was pretty much flabbergasted to say the least. And I did not get the last laugh, which was pretty sad to say the least. So, yeah, so here's what happened. A person who I'm very close with, and of course, I'm not going to reveal that person's name or how I know that person because it might be up for doxing. That's the word they use nowadays. And so the thing is, they lost a child, and the child was very young. It was kind of a it was a known defect or disease or disorder, whatever you would call it. And it affected me very much. And what affected me most was this person's love for their child, and it was devastating to say the least. And I've seen a fair share of people die, not seen, heard. I would like to correct myself, heard a lot of people who have died my age, younger than me, older than me, people who have been very much required by their families. And yeah, so it's just, it's a totally different experience having to see it in person, having to witness it, having to see the parent wail and cry about their child. And it's something that sticks with you. It's something that stays with you forever. And I feel that a piece of me has forever been buried there next to the child. And the visual was pretty haunting. The When I went to the place, and the parents, they were at a loss of words, and everything was fine, and suddenly their world was turned upside down. And I remember seeing the ice box, and it was too big for the child, and the child was hardly half the size of the ice box. And I I couldn't console this friend of mine. I didn't get any words, similar to how I'm struggling for words right now. And I could just take in the scene that people are crying, and most of them are saying that you shouldn't have been gone so young. And while the suffering of the child is definitely something which is unparalleled, it is too young to witness anything like this. My thoughts were entirely with the parent, my friend, and how they were struggling to take this, because I know them, and they have done everything, and they have done everything in their power to give this child a very good life. And considering the circumstances, and you can only imagine the extent that they went to make this child's life little better, little better. The suffering was there right from birth, but then the parents, they never gave up. And how do you console? How do you put yourself together to say any kind of meaningful words when you talk to these people? I mean, you I didn't say anything. I just stepped out. And there is a custom that when we come back, or when we leave the house, we're not supposed to tell them, hey, we're going. So we just had to exit. And my entire day, it just went by in silence, and I didn't speak to anyone. But then I saw my mother, I saw my dad, and I started tearing up. I started crying uncontrollably, because sometimes, most of the times, I would say, parents do a lot of things. They put you where you are. They do a lot of things to put you where you are, and more often than not, they don't expect anything in return. I mean, granted, you can say that if we are successful, they are successful in the eyes of the society. That's there. That transaction always exists in any kind of relationship. Your other person in the relationship, whatever it is, they're good. You feel good. That's always there. But unconditional love is something which has always been up for, I wouldn't say a debate, but a closer scrutiny. I would say that is a better way to put it. And I can say this in a heartbeat, that unconditional love steps from a parent's love for their child. And there is just nothing quite like it. There's nothing quite beautiful like a parent's love for their child, and there's nothing quite tragic like a parent's love for their child. And although we can never ever repay them back for what they've done, I think we should all strive to be a little better for their cause, and for all that they've given us. And I know I have not been the best son. I mean, there have been times when I've let my parents down. There was a voice crack. So one pretty recently, and it hurt to put my parents in such kind of a position. But then you try your best. You try your best no matter what it takes. You just bounce back. You just come up better. You just try and do it again. And there's nothing wrong with it. You tend to disappoint the people that you love more often than not. And then you just try to see what you can do about it and make sure you follow through on it, because that's what you're supposed to do when you love someone. And I am very self aware that I'm getting into quite a preachy territory, but then I would like to put across this message that give your parents a call. Just give them a call and then tell them that you love them. There is no shame in admitting your love for a parent. I have I have been in a school where it is very, they make you feel, I still remember my dad used to come and he used to drop me. I mean, not every day, one of the odd days when he used to drop me and then he used to hug me or something, and I used to feel embarrassed. And now looking back, oh, there was a system tone, I don't know if you heard it. Anyways, now looking back, I feel I should have hugged him tighter. There is absolutely no reason why I shouldn't have embraced the love. I shouldn't have accepted it. Why do I feel embarrassed? We feel so embarrassed to love our parents in public that why? Are you trying to put up some kind of a, I don't know, fake face that you're very brave or something? And it's just very, I did have a phase where I found it to be embarrassing, but then now I go and hug him in public. I hug him in front of people, and there's no shame in that. I hug my mother. So just trying to tell you that it's okay to have hurt them. It's okay to have let them down. It's okay. They would have let you down and you would have let them down. But if you notice, if you just take one moment to reflect on the things that they've done, they always manage to come through. They always manage to come through on whatever it is that you put them up for task, because they figure out a way. Their goal isn't to do what you said, their goal is to keep you happy. And doing what you say is just step one to keeping you happy. So, when your goal is focused on keeping someone happy, you're going to do whatever they ask. And you're going to strike a healthy balance between what they think is good for themselves and what is actually good for themselves. And you try to play that dance for the rest of your lives. That's how loved ones work. And that's something that I'd like to leave a message about. And this didn't affect me. I mean, of course, granted, there is a lot I could speak about this emotion, this particular emotion that borders pain and grief and suffering. But then I do not want to stretch it out for more than what it is, that it has left a void in my heart and a huge crater of pain and sadness. But then nothing comes close, and I cannot even begin to understand or imagine or empathize with the person who lost their child. And I saw them recently, and they're going on, they're very silent, and not the cheerful person that they once used to be. They're still taking in the pain. They're just very silent. And we never knew. That was the part that stung me the most. We never knew about this child's condition, and they managed to successfully keep it from us or the group or something, and then still go on with their lives. I mean, perhaps I should have taken responsibility to ask about it. Maybe that's something I could have done and I didn't do, which still hurts me. But then the best part is it's just fantastic how they manage to keep it to themselves and fight a lone battle, the family, and my heart goes out to them. And that's something I'd like you guys to do. I want you to call your parents. I want you to, if they're in front of you, just go hug them, just thank them, be grateful, whatever. They did the best they could. They absolutely did the best they could. And there's this quote which says, before you realize your father was right, you will have a son who thinks you're wrong. So it's okay. Maybe that has happened in history more often than not, but then you still have a chance. to fix that. You still have a chance to make it right. So call them up, tell them you love them, and yeah, that's about it. That's about it for this episode. And I know it's a bit of a more grounded, more realistic or this thing, but then I'll definitely come back with a more lively episode, maybe something which is more engaging or hook step, the hook step equivalent of a podcast next time. But I really hope you like this one because this is something close to my heart and it's quite literally opening up my heart and looking forward to your feedback. Let's see how it goes and see you guys in the next one.